You are listening to Youth Jam with Isaac. Good evening to you. Now, Eskimo Joe are legends in the Australian music world. Having formed in 1997 in East Fremantle, they've gone on to produce massive albums like A Song in a City and Ghosts of the Past. They've been nominated for 35 ARIA Awards and are easily one of the biggest bands to come out of the country. They've got a brand new song which has been charting on the iTunes charts. It's called Say Something. And to discuss the track and more, I have Kav from the band. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, thanks for having us.
My absolute pleasure. Your band has received 35 ARIA nominations so far, for a number only surpassed by Silverchair, Powderfinger, Kylie Minogue and John Farnham. It's a pretty big artist. What's it been like being a part of the band? And I suppose what's next on the back of that new release?
I guess, how does it feel like being a part of all of the ARIA stuff? I feel like, it's almost, I feel lucky that we were part of an era that existed where records were sold. I mean, the ARIA are the Australian Recording Industry Awards, and we've kind of moved into a new world now where it's all about streaming and bits and pieces, so I feel pretty lucky to, have been part of that world. I think it must be pretty tough for young bands coming up and not having those traditional structures in place. In saying that, you're seeing more new, amazing music come out of this country than ever, so yeah.
And how's life different to when you were making music previously? Is it harder to break into the industry of a new song, or is it kind of the same?
It's hard to know because I'm kind of trapped in Fremantle, and and my only lifeline to the world is talking to people like yourself.
Yeah.
So to tell you the truth, I have no idea. I have to wait until the dust settles and wander out into the landscape that was Australia. But I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. I mean, we've had an amazingly positive response to this song. We didn't really know how people were going to react to it because we'd been away for 7 years.
Yeah, right.
But everyone seems to be pretty happy to see us, and, that makes us feel good, so hurrah.
It is a brilliant song, and I have to admit, because, I'm quite young, so hearing the song, I was like, wow, this is a cool sound. You got a brand new song, it's called Say Something, and it's got more of an environmental message behind it, but I reckon that it could resonate with people right now, especially in COVID-19. Do you think that's the case?
Yeah, look, like you said, we started writing this song about 1.5 years ago, and initially it was meant to be, we're inspired by what was going on with the climate activism with a lot of the youth and how they were getting out there and really making people pay attention. I just found that very inspiring. And so I started writing this tune, but by the time we got to, recording it in February this year, it had changed and morphed into this song that was more of a statement about, the fact that we're at this point in the world where, people need to say something, whether it be about sexism, violence towards women, racism, all of the above. It's not really good enough to just be a good bloke anymore. You actually have to say something.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it ended up. And of course, we put the song out, and just as we did that, the Black Lives Matter thing exploded and all the rest of it. So we did write this about the environment, but we're happy for this to be a protest song if people want to use it as that.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys are a Perth kind of band. You're based in Perth. You started in Perth. What would you say to some young people who want to get into the music industry, but they're not sure how to go about it?
I have no idea. No. What would I say? I mean, look, there's kind of pros and cons to where we live in the world at the moment. One of the amazing things is communication is just better than it ever was. When we started, if you wanted anyone to hear your music, you had to get on a plane and fly to them and play it to them. And I think that still exists now. I think it's still, playing. There's nothing can replace a live performance. But really, it's just about hard work. And I know that sounds really boring, but there's just no excuse for a lazy artist. You have to work. You have to self-motivate yourself every day of the week to get up, write new tunes, work on your craft, get your performance together. Then you've got to get out on the road or be uploading your song, just working all the time, and you're not going to get paid for it for a long time. So that's where the self-motivation comes in. It's not like you clock on and then at the end of the day you get a paycheck. You've just got to work really hard, and even when you think nothing's happening, you keep working, and then lo and behold, you'll have a breakthrough. Because if you're good, people will take notice.
That's Kav, he's one of the people stars of Eskimo Joe. Thank you for your time, my friend.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for your support and thank you for talking to us.
You can stream Say Something. It's out right now, and we're going to play it next on Youth Talk Radio.